Okay, so a few days have passed, did a bit of research, found out that to take off the spark plugs you need a specialized Honda tool, 30 bucks, thanks. And also I figured out how to take off the freaking carburetors, so let's get to that. To take off the carburetors, I need to take off this bracket which holds the two metal cables that link the gas to the carburetors. It's held on by two bolts of different lengths, as you can see here, so make sure you don't mix them up. The next and fortunately final step to remove the carburetors is to just remove these cables from this bracket, which you do by just rotating those round things so that the cable can come out. And then I just put the cable aside and I can just go on with the carburetors. For this job I won't remove them completely because I'd have to remove the choke cables as well, and that's not needed to remove the valve cover. So I just carefully turn them over and put them over the bike's chassis. That just frees enough space for me to get at the valve cover. You just need a little bit of patience, but eventually you'll get it. It's not easy, but it's not impossible. And finally I can just get at this cover, and this time it just comes off without anything else in the way. Simple process, take it off, and as you can see there's definitely some oil around the spark plug hole and at the back of the cylinder, and you can see it from the gasket as well. Now I just have to clean up the mess I made with the coolant in part 1. Before getting at replacing the gasket, I'm just gonna start replacing the spark plugs, starting by this one, which is the most accessible one without the valve cover. And thanks to this Honda tool, the spark plug just stays attached to the tool so I don't have to fish it down there in the hole. The spark plug isn't looking terribly bad, but I mean at this point I got the motorbike taken apart, the spark plugs aren't that expensive, so I figured I'd just replace them all. Now I'm cleaning the part of the cylinder head that comes in contact with the valve cover gasket to have it as clean as possible for the new gasket. Removing the gasket from the valve cover isn't too difficult, you just take it and pull it off. The thing is that this thing seemed to be held on by some sort of glue or dried grease or something that made the removal a bit difficult, because since this thing is old, I don't want it to break and have to scrape it off the cover. But eventually I got it off in one piece, and this thing was so dry, I'm not surprised it was leaking oil like crazy. The replacement gasket, I just got the original part because it didn't cost much more than the clone ones, and I'm sure that this is gonna fit and be of good quality. Then I'm just gonna put some grease on the valve cover to make it stick, because it's gonna be upside down when I put it on. And then I just carefully put it on without bumping it into anything, because if the gasket bumps into anything it'll come off and I have to take the valve cover back out and just re-grease it and re-put the gasket back on. But fortunately everything went smoothly, and now all I have to do is just tighten the bolts back up and it should be job done. Now I just made a time lapse of me putting carburetors back in. Since you've seen me taking them out, it's just the opposite process. In this clip, you can actually see more clearly what I did while I was disassembling it. I just put the cable ends in those sockets, twist them so it locks them in. In this case, I had to pull the bottom cable out by hand because it wasn't extended enough, and then I just slotted it in as the top one. And to finish the job, I just screw the bracket back in, making sure I'm using the right bolt, because they are different lengths as I said, and then it's just job done. The mystery hose is now going back in, along with this retaining bracket, which I'm putting on with some pliers. And then I'm putting the coolant line back in, the one that made the mess in part 1. Now you're seeing me putting the coils back in and plugging them in, but this is a case of do as I say and not as I do, because I won't be able to fit the air intake manifold with those in the way, so do that first. You can plug the spark plugs back in though, that won't cause any problems. When putting the bracket back in, make sure not to do as I did here, because look at what happened, and also make sure you put the green ground wires through the bolt, or else you're gonna have grounding problems. I should have done this in part 1, but I didn't, and that caused a mess, and now I'm doing it. I'm taking out the cap from the radiator, and then I'm draining the coolant. I just have to take this drain bolt out and let all the coolant flow out. Then I just refill it with this red coolant because they say it's less corrosive, and I break my phone. The last part I have to fit to the bike to fix it is the neutral sensor. It's easy to replace, but as usual, I didn't read the service manual, so...
Oh, come on, are you serious? I need to get this out. Frick, what is this even doing? Dang it.
So yeah, as it turns out, I do have to remove that thing. And then I can finally remove the sensor.
There you go.
And as you can see from the new one, it is super worn out.
Okay. Now, I just connect this. There you go.
And then I just put back the little thing that I don't know what it's for. And I proceed with replacing the most annoying of the spark plugs. As you can see, people already did that and ruined the radiator. I'm doing my best not to touch it, but that means I have to do it with a wrench, and it's really not a comfortable job to do.
Oh, gosh damn it. Yes.
As with the other spark plugs, this isn't too bad, but I'm just replacing them all at this point.
God damn it.
I'm plugging the cable back in, and I'm so glad I won't have to do this for a while. The remaining plug is the easiest of them all because it's just on the side of the cylinder. It's really accessible and really easy. At this point, apart from the oil, it's just the finishing touches. So I put the radiator cap back on, I screw in the air intake manifold hose clamp, both on the airbox side and on the carburetor side. And the final step before finally figuring out if I completely destroy this bike or if it runs is 2.4 liters of 10W40 oil, as per the service manual. But as with almost everything in this video, I messed up this part too.
Oh, dang it. Fuck. Oh, now it looks like a horror movie. That's just great.
Time to pour it all in. Well, almost all in.
Okay, so, in theory, I hope, coolant is in, oil is in, but the fuel tank, like, temporarily, it's not even, like, screwed in, just to have fuel. Now, it's the moment of truth. Yes! Yes! Come on! It works! Yes! Oh. Yes? Okay. Yes! It works! Oh gosh, what the crap?
Remember the clip where I broke my phone while pouring the coolant? Yup, I spilled it on the exhaust.
Shit! Okay, something's not good. What the crap is this? Okay, so the bike runs. The smoke was actually cooling on the exhaust, so false alarm there. But I still need to put it together enough so that I can ride it, because I don't think I can ride it without this. So let's put it together, I'll go for a test ride, and then we'll see if there are any problems. Hopefully not.
The bare minimum that I need to ride is the gear pedal, so I'm just putting back the chain guard. And finally, the gear pedal. Editor me here again. The ride went really well. I did it just around the block, so I couldn't film it because I don't want to dox myself. But it went very well. The bike feels more powerful, more responsive. I don't know if that's placebo or because of the service, but that's just very great. This part ends here, but I have way more parts, original parts, upgraded parts, coming for the next episode, so stick around for the next video.